Nicki Minaj just declared herself Donald Trump's #1 fan. Wednesday at a U.S. Treasury event, Nicki Minaj, if you don't know who that is, she is a superstar, one of the greatest rappers ever. She stood next to Donald Trump as he launched Trump accounts, which is an investment account for children. The money would allegedly grow until the child is an adult, when they would be able to withdraw the money, but only for certain things like school, buying a home, or starting a business. Now, anyway, during this event, Nikki said the hate she gets does not affect her and that it motivates her to support Donald Trump even more. She even pledged to donate somewhere between $150,000 to $300,000 to these accounts, but not for nothing. On Wednesday, Nicki Minaj also posted a photo of a Trump Gold card. That card will cost you a $1 million contribution plus a $15,000 processing fee for U.S. residency in record time. That's right. And not making this up. $1 million contribution plus a $15,000 processing fee gets you U.S. residency in record time. Anyway, we'll talk. But it didn't cost Nicki just $1,015,000. It also maybe cost her her soul. In 2020, Nicki Minaj spoke out against Donald Trump's immigration policies that separated more than 5,000 children from their parents. Nicki was right. Nicki was on the money. And I appreciated and applauded Nicki Minaj for that commentary, for that critique. Nicki was courageous. She was smart. She was clear-headed. She was honest. She had something to lose, and yet she still spoke out. In fact, at the time, she said that Donald Trump's actions bothered her because she herself was, quote, one of those immigrant children coming to America to flee poverty. Now, as of the latest reports, Nicki Minaj is not a documented immigrant. In fact, there was a change.org petition calling to deport her to her home of Trinidad and Tobago, and it got hundreds of thousands of signatures. Now, I don't support that. I don't support deportation of anybody. And I know people are saying that to be smart or to be nasty or to be mean-spirited. I don't want to get into the smart alecky, mean-spirited, nasty rhetoric that happens. Nicki Minaj has a right to support Donald Trump. She has a right to believe in Donald Trump's policies. She has a right to express her political opinions. And I never want to live in a country where my ability to stay in the country hinges upon my political opinions. And yet that seems to be exactly where we are. Now, it's possible Nicki Minaj just loves Donald Trump. That's fine. Love Donald Trump, Nicki Minaj. It's your business. I just disagree. And I'm old enough to remember even 6 weeks ago when, some of us, myself included, many people, myself included, said that Nicki was moving down a MAGA direction, down a MAGA road, that she was doing things that were pro-MAGA. And some people said that I was being hyperbolic, that I was overstating the case, that Nicki never said anything about MAGA. She just cared about, I think the issue was Nigerians and the safety of Christians in Nigeria. And now, look, just a few weeks later, she's doing exactly what I said. She is not just supporting Christians in Nigeria. She's not just supporting a political position that happens to align with Donald Trump's political position. She says, I am Donald Trump's #1 fan. So all y'all out there who said I was wrong for saying that she was MAGA, she is literally saying she is Donald Trump's #1 fan. No two ways about it. But now seeing, and this is what many people were hypothesizing and suspecting before anyway, seeing her with her Trump Gold card, seeing her seemingly moving toward immigration status, or citizenship status, it at least makes sense to me. When I saw Lil Wayne standing next to Donald Trump looking like a hostage, smiling, yes, it concerned me. I was critical of Lil Wayne, but I also said, he trying to beat this weapons charge. When I saw Kodak, was it Kodak? who was it? I can't keep up. So many rappers were standing next to Donald Trump. The ones that stood next to Donald Trump for free, just cause, I did not respect that. The ones who did it because they're trying to beat their own cases or get their people's home, I at least understood why they were doing it. I still didn't agree, but I at least understood it, and it made a little more sense. For me, the question is less, is Nicki Minaj right or wrong for using for supporting Trump in exchange for immigration status? To me, that puts the pressure and the criticism on Nicki Minaj, and Nicki doesn't deserve that, even though I don't agree with her. For me, the issue is, why do we live in a country where your political position or your ability to pull $1 million out of a duffel bag, not literally, um, determines your ability to become a citizen or stay a citizen or stay here? It isn't right. And until Democrats and Republicans come together for sensible immigration policies, we're going to continue to see situations like this, not a bunch of people pulling out $1 million and paying for unprecedented, historic record residency time, but people going to different lengths and deploying different strategies, which may or may not be helpful to the rest of us, in order to stay in the country. That cannot be the policy. That cannot be the answer. Again, Nicki Minaj may want citizenship, residency, whatever. The citizenship, she was clear about that on Twitter. But Nicki Minaj may want citizenship, but she also may be sincere in her positions. I'm not going to assume that Nicki Minaj is being dishonest. I'm not going to assume the worst of Nicki Minaj. I just disagree with her politics. Where it gets fuzzy, though, is that 6 years ago, she was criticizing Trump. She was criticizing his policies. So what I'd like to know, again, not going to assume the worst, I'd like to know why she's made such a sharp or even radical pivot away from what she said before. She could look at the world different. Donald Trump might have persuaded her. Or she's doing exactly what it looks like she's doing, which is making a strategic personal decision um, that benefits her and her life and her family's life, which, again, I understand. The question is, what's at stake for the rest of us when you do that? What's at stake when somebody with this bigger platform as some of these artists have speak up and speak out in favor of Donald Trump, who is a vile, despicable president and really an awful human being, from what I know and what I can see? I, I don't know what I would do if I were in the same situation. I don't know. So I don't want to be judgmental, but I have to be critical because that's the job. And this doesn't pass the smell test for me.